Alright, what's up, boys and girls? It's your boy DC Monster, and here joining me today is my good friend Dr. Walrus. Say hello, Doc.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Walrus.
Is in the house, I bet. Mostly. But yeah, you remember him from our Barbie video adventure, but we wanted to actually here's the thing. We came across a lot of really interesting music through vinyl, and we thought we could probably share it. And due to copyrights, which we do not own the song whatsoever. We're putting that disclaimer, of course.
Yep, agree to that one.
We're basically going to do commentary based on the little rules. So let's see what we got. Today we got on the menu. Let's see. Kajagoogoo, if I'm saying that right or butchering that, with the song "Too Shy." I'm going to show you a glimpse of that because this one came with a cover. Dr. Walrus, do you recognize anything about this song?
Not that I know. Well, like, when it comes down to, like, how it sounded a little bit, like, similar to how you'd hear from Vice City and stuff like that in GTA.
Really? Well, let's see if this takes us down memory lane. Presenting with Kajagoogoo's, my bad. Song "Too Shy." And here we go. Ooh, I like that vibe. Now, okay, with this scream basically 80s.
It'd be somewhere around that kind of, like, era when it comes to it. Like, it doesn't really sound bad when it comes to it. It has vibe to it.
Vibe to it, yes, I can feel that vibe. It starts with this low storage vibe and then it just hikes up.
Oh, yeah.
Or slowly hikes up. And yes, people, that is my hand. So this is definitely something you'd probably play here in Vice City.
Yeah.
So you play Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, I play Grand Theft Auto.
I hope they can still hear us, but I'm just going to turn that. There we go. Not too up and not too down.
Oh, yeah.
So, you remember playing Vice City? Now, was that a 90s or did it come out in the 2000s?
It came out around 2000s, I would say, when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You end up having your main character being Tommy Vassetti.
Tommy Vassetti, that's basically the plot of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the dance vibe. I mean, this is something you totally hear at a club.
Yeah, I'd say, like, it could be something that would be playing in that kind of scenario.
Like dancing owl emoji or something, you know? Considering my spirit animal would probably be an owl if I given choice. But yeah, no, I mean, based on the cover, what's your basic opinion on the hairstyles and the clothes styles section of the 80s?
Like, when it comes to a lot of the people that are in it, it's got a lot of the old, like, style where you get, like, the mullets and stuff like that. One of them literally looks like they have some kind of, like, Beethoven kind of look to it.
In a way, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, according to this cover, Kajagoogoo looks a bit British, if you ask me.
They might be, actually, when it comes to it.
I mean, was there really a lot of like British pop bands in the 80s? Even though the Beatles were basically dominating the 60s and 70s.
I think there was a type of pop surge that happened in Britain, but I don't have clear knowledge on that myself when it comes to it. Like, usually, if I'm thinking of like pop for me, I think I'd hear some things from usually Australia and sometimes from America a lot of times.
Really?
Yep.
And is it more of or little to none that this actually would probably be in a top 10 of some lists during the dance phase?
Could have been, actually. Like, I could see it definitely in club work.
Oh, the record stopped. Sadly, we have to get ourselves a new one in the future, but we do like the retro vibe.
Agreed to that.
So, Doc, based on what we were hearing and what we had to talk through, I hope the audience was able to hear through us, and hopefully this is actually a fun experiment.
Yeah.
How would you rate this song?
Like, I'd give it about a 7 out of 10 when it comes to how it is and how it sounds. It's got a good, like, vibe to it. It makes you feel like you're actually, like, you can bring some, like, nostalgia factor to it for some people.
Oh, I agree. I actually love how, if anything, you can actually work out to this, and you can actually, well, if anything, could mix anything from the song with any new style. I mean, you know how they're actually remaking all these new songs from old songs from the 80s and the 90s.
That is true. Like a lot of people end up doing that kind of stuff when it comes to pop. They'll end up reusing the words that people use and stuff like that, or they'll end up using the whole entire sound.
Yeah, fun fact, kids. If you basically recycle, melodies from old songs, and if it's really horrible, I mean, believe me, you pray that they don't laugh you off the field. But any final diagnosis, Doc, on the song?
Like so, overall, I think it's pretty good when it comes to it.
Oh, agreed. It probably makes me want to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Here's a shout out to that part to Rockstar Games. All right, now our guest, this next one, or there's only two part of the song we're going to be showing, is called The Brothers 4 by Frogg, and this was actually recommended by Dr. Walrus, or picked by him, if I'm not mistaken. Was that true, Doc?
Yeah.
Now, when we get to, before we play the song, is there anything you could probably tell us on how this style kind of reminds you of? If any place you've been to, or any type of style of music you've played with?
Well, I'll have to hear to find out.
Well, fingers crossed. Let's hear where we go with The Brothers 4, Frogg. Okay, I got family from West Virginia. I can relate to this.
This is a story about a hip
The thing is, I
frog.
can think about when it comes to it is I'm picturing
We're
myself.
gonna pick up
on
on
a
him now, and he's
shotgun,
on his way out to do some shucking
singing
and
moonshine.
jiving.
A shotgun and
You'll be
moonshine.
able
That's
to
actually
tell
really
right
funny.
away that he's a big mover. Frog went a-courting.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this kind of sounds like a familiar nursery rhyme when I was in elementary school.
Could be in a way. Like I don't like to say, I myself, I haven't actually heard this song when it came to how it was. What's it called? Going about with the sound. So it could have been some kind of nursery rhyme.
Yeah, if anything, but it's probably been done in different ways. I mean, I remember the song actually had involved like Molly Mouse getting eaten by a snake or something.
Like I said, I'm not sure on that one.
Or no, sorry, a cat. My bad, it was a cat. Because in every typical nursery rhyme, it's always like a cat eating a mouse.
Yeah, it could be some Tom and Jerry kind of stuff when it comes to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I'll pretty much look up these guys' year when this came out, but I'm obviously gonna be looking further. I mean, this feels basically, I could be wrong, 60s or 70s country.
Like, I myself, I'd say it could be a little bit older by how it feels, but I'm not really sure on like what time frame this would have been.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, really.
She said, "That's it, Clyde, better hit the road. Farewell." That's it, Clyde, better
Oh, this
hit
is a
the
new
road.
vibe. I mean, I've never heard this hit part of the song where the chick actually dumps the guy.
Now, that's the thing that is kind of funny when it comes to like older music too, is that you'll find a lot of innuendo, or like you'll find a lot of things that like you wouldn't expect in a lot of these kind of things.
All right. Okay, well that's the end of that song. What would you say? How would you basically rate this one, Doctor? Or what's your diagnosis?
It's not my basic taste, but if it's like some kind of thing that I can have fun when it comes to playing it with a kid or something like that, I think it'd be just fine.
Fair enough on that. Yeah, if anything, yeah, these guys actually feel. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a 60s and 70s vibe. That's what I'm getting from, at least from old-fashioned country.
I could say a little bit older in my field, but then again, I'm not really good with when it comes to how the country goes about and all that.
Oh, don't worry, you'll know the answer. You'll know the answer in the description, kids. Once we give the we are gonna identify the songs, of course, through every segment. So keep out for these videos. Now, as an ender for our video, we're going to review a friend of ours from the band Broken Circuit, and this is another fun old medium. If you guys ever recognize these little babies. But why don't I give you the cover? You can find these guys. They're on their website at brokencircuit.com. And yeah, here is a snippet of their song "Back in the Theater."
Alrighty.
What do you think, Doc?
Like I say, when it comes down to it, it has a very dramatic sound when it comes down to it. Beyond that, there is a bit of like, what's called, you can hear some old instrumental techniques being used with it.
Oh, I agree. And yet, the way it actually turns out, it feels like a sci-fi mission.
I can see that when it comes to it. Like, I can see this happening where, like, if it's a scene of something that is like what is going on, you can end up trying to see when they're like trying to warp into a space kind of thing.
Agreed.
Or like seeing something that they shouldn't, that they're like, okay, that's amazing kind of sound.
If anything, it actually feels like more of a nostalgia base too, if that's what they're going for.
Could be.
But yeah, like I said, folks, that song was "Back in the Theater" by our good friend Dooley from the hit band Broken Circuit. You can find them on YouTube. Their video will be on the description. Well, Doc, that's been it for until next time. Let's see. Any word of advice for our viewers?
Like I said, try to go for what you can when it comes to music overall.
And
You
you
can
never-
find a lot of different varieties on a lot of different forms.
And remember, you never know what you're gonna find in the Retrobox.